Thank you very much.
It's exactly 11 o'clock. We are going to start with our official program since we have all esteemed guests led by the Premier in the House. I'm going to right away request that we all stand up as we sing the national anthem, and there should be no movement or anything. As we hand over to you, our selector, national anthem, please. Thank you very much. My name is Khawahe Oahe Mulapisi. I will be propelling the program. I'm the MEC responsible for cooperative governance, human settlement, and traditional affairs. It is my pleasure to acknowledge in our midst the Premier of the Northwest, our leader, Premier Lazarus Mokgosi, members of the Executive Council, accompanying the Premier, MEC Mutsumi, MEC Madoda Sambata, MEC Lehare, MEC Mukua, MEC Danchi, MEC Lenkopane. Also, Premier conveyed the apologies of MEC Morweng, MEC Mosenuchi, and MEC Tlapi. But also in our midst, we have the presence of the acting executive mayor, Date Councillor Mohammed Karani. We have the mayor of Moses Kotane, Councillor Nkotswe. We have council chairperson of the Obet and Tivet College. We have the director general in our midst, Date Mokgosi. We have the principal of the Obet Tivet College, Mr. We have in our midst also Mr. Dikamukwena, representatives of the labor Federation, Mr. Kabelo Khoro, the representative of the business sector, Date Benedict Mutise, Melesego from Lerato from APSA, representative of our civil society, Mr. Dieketsen Diale. We also are honored to have in our midst the deputy chairperson who is deputizing the deputy president, who happened to be the chairperson of the committee, Dr. Tembi Kaba. We have the chairperson of chairpersons. She chairs all the chairpersons of legislature committee, Mete Bohomudise. We also have the chief whip of Moses Kotane and Tatela Kimwate, Dr. F. Yende, Dr. Mashongwane, the CFO of the CEO of the Mining Qualification Authority. We also have Professor Makaya, the commissioner from the Public Service Commission. Also in our midst, we have the president of the SRC, Mbuiso Chabalala. We also have Mr. Kuzwayo from the CEO of NSA, Mr. J.M. Koza, and we are also blessed to have in our midst a representative from the Office of the Premier in Mpumalanga, that is Mr. Koza, and all other dignitaries that I may not have acknowledged. I think in due course you'll be acknowledged as and when confirmation has been made. I want to take this opportunity to greet you this morning, a very warm welcome to the launch, and indicate, Premier, that we appreciate all the stakeholders gathered here, purposefully united to fight the unemployment crisis that we are experiencing in the country and in particular in the province. Our understanding is that in an ever-evolving global economy, the need for continuous learning, adaptability, and innovation is extremely important. We must listen to the messages of support that will be delivered this morning as building blocks, key contributors for social compact of great functional and play its part towards the goals of the HRDC. We are looking forward to also hear the esteemed Premier on launching and introducing of council members. We are also humbled by the presence of the chairperson of Salga in our midst in the province, who also happened to be the executive mayor of Ngaka Mudir Mulema, Councillor Khumalo Molefe. You are all welcome. Our program is going to be very short. We are going to have the welcome and acknowledgement of the guest. I want to guess that the delegated person from the district is Councillor Mohammed Karani. Immediately after that, and I think we have the program, but bear in mind that my program might be a little bit different from yours. So whatever you have there, as and when you observe the changes, know that that is the prerogative of the program director, because the program director has the original program. We are going to have a presentation by the Deputy Director General, Puti Chuma, on the terms of reference of the Northwest Provincial HRDC. Will immediately receive the messages of support from the Labour Federation by the delegated person or Kabelo Khoro, and then from there would move to the civil society by Ms. Dieketseng Diale, and then immediately would have the address by the deputy chairperson of the HRDC, Dr. Tembi Kaba. Before that, we'll have a message of support by the provincial chairperson of Salga, Councillor Khumalo Molefe. Then immediately, the Premier will ascend to the stage to launch the HDRC and introduce members of the council. That will be our program for the short period that would be here, and then we'll request the Mayor of Moses Kotane, Mayor Councillor Mokgosi, to do the vote of thanks. In between, we'll have entertainment from our talented people, the cultural groups that we have here, and traditional dancers. So briefly, that's the program and that's the outline of the program. Now that we know who is here, Councillor Karani, Mohammed, can you then welcome all the people who have been introduced so that they feel safe and they are told that Dinjadi Bofilwe, as I hand over to you, Councillor Mandevu Karani, his real name.
Dumelang Bakhulu, Salaam Alaikum, Namaste, Shalom. Deputy President Honorable Paul Mashatile in our midst, Minister of Higher Education and Training Honorable Buti Manamela in our midst, Premier of the Northwest Province Honorable Lazarus Mokgosi, MECs and mayors. Mayor of Moses Kotane, Councillor Inkotswe, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, program facilitator. It is a joyous moment for Bojanala Platinum District Municipality to be associated and beneficiary of such a noble project of launch of the Northwest Human Resources Development Council by Deputy President Mashatile in his midst here in our district. It is a historical moment that we will forever cherish as a district. This groundbreaking council will serve to assist us to further push back the frontiers of triple challenges that continue to bedevil our country, namely poverty, unemployment, and inequality, which we inherited from the past. Human resources development increases chances of youth being marketable and employed upon completion of enhancement of their skills. This is what we will aspire as a program that our government has brought down high levels of unemployment among youth in our country. We warmly and gladly welcome this launch of this Human Resource Development Council in our district, which is a shining example of the District Development Model DDM, namely in collaboration effort between national government, Northwest Provincial Government in the form of the Office of the Premier and the Department of Education. We applaud this collaboration effort together. Let us continue to build our nation, leaving no one behind. You are welcome to our Bojanala Platinum District Municipality and the tourist Mecca and the mining hub of the world. All welcome to our province. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Karani, for a warm welcome to all delegates. We proceed as we call on stage the DDG and Date Chuma. We must indicate that it is important to Date Chuma to outline the terms of reference of the committee that is going to be launched today, because today marks a significant milestone towards playing a meaningful role in developing our country's human capital. So Now that we have been welcome, we want to hand over to you to present and outline the terms of reference of the Northwest Provincial HRDC as I hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, Honorable Premier, MECs, mayors, MMMs, officials from the mayoral offices, Director General of the province, HODs, distinguished guests from different organizations and entities, as well as we appreciate the support that we are getting from our colleague from Mpumalanga. Thank you very much. We come a long way, and we have presented the terms of reference to the Executive Council of the province, and they've been adopted. And we are coming to present so that everybody else is aware that we are singing from the same book. We have got 6 chapters or 6 subsections or headings of the terms of reference, but we thought that for this occasion, we have abridged them or condensed them or synthesized them so that it just touches on the critical part. This is how our terms of reference are captured in the documentation that has been put around, just by a way of trying to bring everybody on board. On the background of the terms of reference, we just make an emphasis on the legal prescript that puts forward the importance of each and every province to have a Human Resource Development Council, as we also have it national. Our background only emphasizes that there's a need for us to make sure that the Human Resource Development Council comes alive to the 3 priorities of government in terms of inclusive growth and job creation, dealing with poverty and the high cost of living, as well as making sure that we are able to build an ethical and developmental state, which means that our background simply says that we must align all our efforts in terms of human resource development towards contribution of the bigger picture. The strategic priorities in our terms of reference, you'll realize that we have got at least 11 HRDC strategic priorities that we must pursue. The first one starts simply with us having to have a great responsibility in ensuring that we contribute largely towards early development childhood in the province. We know that this program has actually been elevated as critical towards education and training. It also talks about a strategic intention, the critical part of making sure that we bring all people who've got footprints in education and training, but largely around human resource development, that all these stakeholders must be able to come together and emphasize and push on human resource development. It does speak largely about the ability of the province to be able to project its economic trajectory, as well as aligning its skill set and competencies to make sure that as and when the future happens, we are able to drive pressure and continue innovatively and creatively to grow the economy of the province. The purpose is largely that government should then begin to play a large space in making sure that it brings businesses, civil society, labor, mine, private, everybody important to come together and sort out the future in terms of human resource development. Of course, in terms of our synthesis or abridged version, we then have identified 8 objectives currently in the document that we have. And these objectives are not speaking something different from what the background is actually intended for. That HRDC will play as a very important critical part to advise the Executive Council of the province in terms of how we need to grow our skill set in the province to attain our economic intentions and growth. We do know that in the province already, we have got a provincial growth and development strategy document, as the one that we are going to sing from it, and we're also going to make sure that we align all our efforts and resources that would be necessary for us to grow the economy. So it touches largely on all those particular 8 objects. Touches largely on that the HRDC will also act as a medium to put together all the entities that we have spoken about towards human resource development in response to the Human Resource Development 2030 and the Master Skills Plan, as it were. The term of office for the HRDC is 5 years from the time that it was basically launched. You would actually read in the terms of reference that it's allowed that as and when another member leaves, the same representation might be brought in from the entity on which the person was basically coming from. We do talk about the structures that would support the Human Resource Development Council. It will have its own plenary where decisions are taken and discussions are taken broadly. We also expect that we'll have what you call technical working groups, in which they will be assigned the responsibility by the council perhaps to probe further on certain projects. And we also know that they will also have got the ability to assign responsibilities to the Office of the Premier that has got a memorandum of understanding with the University of the Northwest. They will then also be able to assign them the research projects that need to happen, as well as it's part of the objectives that are actually carried out within that. There will be a chairperson for the HRDC who's going to be the premier, and there's going to be secretariat that does support the chairperson, and also technically run the responsibility and administratively of the Human Resource Development Council. There's a very important structure that was launched last year by November, the Provincial Skills Development Forum. The Skills Development Forum becomes a feeder to the Human Resource Development Council. From time to time, they will be able to escalate challenges that we are experiencing as far as the implementation of the plan of action that they would develop towards skills development and building competencies within the province. And it is how we are basically set up. The Human Resource Development Council will have to meet 4 times in a year, which means it's most likely to meet once per quarter, or as and when the chairperson deems it necessary. And this also goes beyond that particular part, that the technical working committee groups might also want to meet as and when they're faced with certain responsibility or projects that they believe that they need to resolve. And this therefore explains and put a full stop to the presentation of the terms of reference, Program Director. And thank you very much. I'm humbled.
Thank you very much, DDG Chuma, for outlining the terms of reference of the to be launched committee. We'll get to know members of the committee once they are launched by the Premier, but we now know that the Premier will be the chairperson of the committee. Before we proceed, we calling upon on stage a representative from the Labour Federation, Kabelo Koroho. We are going to request Marimba Group to give us one item. But before we do that, as indicated earlier, that we'll continue to acknowledge guests in our midst. We want to further acknowledge the presence of the CEO of Mersita, Tate Naftali Mokgosi. I didn't ask other people to stand up. Thank you. We also want to welcome the CEO of Bank Sita, Tate Ebet Mashabatse. Barage Mashobane. Bachincha mabitso a gago. Now I'm reading what I'm giving here. Ga gona le batho mo ba re ba itseng Tate Mashabane. Ke batho ba go Pitori. We also want to acknowledge the presence in our midst of the COO of Insita, Tate Leslie Kwapeng. Yeah, let me not describe you, but I don't know. You are very doubtful. You want to clap hands, you are not sure. I don't know why. But I think maybe after we have acknowledged all of them, we must give them a round of applause as a way of acknowledging their presence. We also have the provincial specialist from the LG SITA, Marona Margaret Marakalala. Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause, please? As we hand over to you, Marimba, and the owner of Marimba can go there also to perform and demonstrate. Yeah, you will lead the owner of that leader. Premier Maribuena, leader.
Mutima Ulima wangu lupangoyo, lupasaza, tateliku. Nizokangela pina. Munumanisanga sa. Nizokangela pina. Bani munumanisanga sa.
A big round of applause. A big round of applause again, please. To the owner. No, thanks very much. Marimba, as we welcome on stage the representative from Labour Federation, our comrade Kabelo Khoro, the Secretary of COSATU, over to you.
Thank you, Program Director, Deputy President of the Republic and Chairperson of the National HRDC, Comrade Paul Mashatile in absentia, Minister of D-Head, Comrade Buti Manamela in absentia, the to-be Chairperson of the Provincial HRDC, and Premier of the Northwest, Comrade Lazarus Mokgosi, leadership of government, all protocol observed. On behalf of the Congress of South African Trade Unions and Labor in general in the Northwest, representing workers and the voice of workers across our province, we extend our unwavering support for the relaunch, not launch only, Program Director, relaunch of the Human Resource Development Council in the province. Today marks a pivotal moment in our collective journey towards radical economic transformation and inclusive growth. As Labour, we recognize that the relaunch of the HRDC comes at a time when our province faces unprecedented challenges that demand coordinated and strategic intervention. Our province, home to over 4 million people, grapples with an expanded unemployment rate of 56%, the highest in the country. We have witnessed approximately 20,000 job losses by the fourth quarter of 2024 alone, with industries in continuing to flee the province due to poor public service and underdevelopment. These stark realities underscore why the HRDC's mandate is not just important, but essential for our survival as a working class province. The HRDC's mission to mobilize various stakeholders and social partners to develop skills that serve the needs of South African economy and support the national objectives of radical economic transformation towards inclusive growth resonates deeply with our commitment as Labour and also as COSATU to the National Democratic Revolution. We welcome the HRDC as a platform where social partners can engage constructively to address the bottlenecks in human resource development that have plagued our province for too long. This aligns perfectly with our understanding that transformation requires intentional, coordinated action from all sectors of society. Our commitment as partner to the HRDC. We pledge to work closely with and in the HRDC to develop comprehensive skills programs that address the technological advancements reshaping our economy. Our affiliates as Labour represent workers across various sectors, and we understand firsthand the skills gaps that need urgent attention. We stand ready to support the HRDC in defending and implementing progressive legislation that advances human resource development, including the Bella Act, which will be revolutionized which will revolutionize our education system and other transformative policies that the GNU has committed to implement. Through our collective bargaining processes and workplace organization, we will also ensure that skills development initiatives translate into meaningful employment opportunities and career advancement for our members, particularly focusing on the young people, women, and previously disadvantaged groups. The HRDC's relaunch provides an opportunity to address systematic challenges that have undermined human resource development in our province. The colonial education systems. We support the Northwest Basic Education Department's initiative to introduce indigenous languages as a medium of instruction. The HRDC must champion the complete decolonization of our education system to produce graduates who are grounded in African values while globally competitive. In equal education, with our education system being amongst the most unequal in the world, the HRDC must prioritize equalizing access to quality education and training opportunities across all communities in the Northwest Province. On rural development, our rural communities face high illiteracy rates and lack of economic opportunities. The HRDC must develop targeted interventions to ensure that the human resource development reaches every corner of our province. And this is what we expect from it as labor. Employment creation. Developing skills programs directly linked to job creation initiatives, moving beyond precarious contract work to sustainable, decent employment. Industrial development, supporting the province in re-industrialization through skills development aligned with our economic potential, particularly in mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. On youth development, we expect that it create pathways for young people to access quality skills training that leads to meaningful employment, addressing the crisis of youth unemployment that affects our province disproportionately. And on gender transformation, we expect that it ensure that women and girl children have equal access to skills development opportunities, particularly in traditionally male-dominated sectors. On digital literacy, it must prepare our workforce for the fourth industrial revolution while guarding against digital colonialism that could further marginalize our people. Comrade Chair of the province HRDC Premier Lazarus Mokgosi, we call on the Northwest HRDC to adopt a revolutionary approach to human resource development, one that recognizes that skills development without broader structural transformation will merely reproduce existing inequalities. The HRDC must not become another forum for endless discussions while our people continue to suffer. It must be an action-oriented body that drives concrete interventions with measurable outcomes and time-bound deliveries, of course, working with the PSDF. We caution against allowing market-driven approaches to dominate the HRDC's work. Skills development must serve the interest of our people and our economy, not merely the profit margins of private capital. In conclusion, we pledge our full support to the HRDC, but this support comes with the expectation that this body will serve the interest of the working people and contribute meaningfully to our collective liberation. We commit to being active, critical, and constructive partners in the work of the HRDC. We will hold the body accountable to needs and aspirations of workers across our province. The relaunch of the HRDC in the province must mark the beginning of a new era in human resource development, one characterized by urgency, innovation, and unwavering commitment to transformation. We call upon all social partners represented here today to join us in making the Northwest HRDC a beacon of hope for our people and a catalyst for the radical economic transformation of our province, transformation our province desperately needs. Together, we must build an HRDC that works for the people. Forward to human resource development. Thank you, Program Director.
Forward with the HRDC, forward. Thank you very much, Rekoro. We can agree more with the sentiment that we have expressed here. We welcome the commitment that the Labour Federation is making, the pledge and the support as we move forward to call on stage the civil society representative, Mayor Diegetseng Diale, as she moves forward. Kazi. Ma libongwe, ma libongwe. Oskawa, my sister. Bongwe, libongwe.
Libitso la bahumagadi a
Ne ke re ke mo kopa go rame ka maoto ha a bua.
ene ke a go ema yang ka maoto le nna ke sa kgone batho ba Modimo. Program director o itse selo se se lekana le nna fela o itse ha ke itse gore a ke tle go kgona go bona batho botlhe, but program director re a leboga Deputy President Ntate Paul Mashatile in absentia, duly represented by the Chair of National HRDC, Minister Buti Manamela in absentia, and the office representative, Premier Mr. Lazarus Mokgosi, MECs here, HODs, Salga Chairperson, Councillor Molefe, fellow CSO organizations, CETAs that are here, guests, partners, and fellow citizens of not only the Northwest, but the global community as well. Let me say I'm standing on existing protocols. And I say good morning to you. Dumela, Sanibonani, Absheni. So it is both an honor and a responsibility to deliver this message of support on behalf of many civil society organizations, and in particular, the Lady of Peace Community Foundation, a civil society organization rooted in the lived experiences of communities in the Northwest and across South Africa, as well as in Lesotho. Today's relaunch of the Human Resource Development Council in the Northwest Province is more than an administrative milestone. It is a collective recommitment to building a skilled, peaceful, and inclusive society. We are reminded that human development is peace building in action. It is not only just about economic indicators, it is about dignity, agency, and the capacity of people, especially our young people, to shape their own futures. Why does this thing matter to us, Premier? Let us consider a few critical data points. According to statistics, South Africa's Q1 of 2024 labor force survey, 45.5% of youth aged 15 to 34 in South Africa are unemployed. In the Northwest Province, youth unemployment is higher than the national average, with more than 60% of youth not in employment or in education or in training. Furthermore, only 6 out of every 100 learners in grade 1 in the province will eventually complete a post-secondary qualification if they are lucky to do so. These numbers are not just statistics, Premier. They represent lost potential, an interrupted dream. But they also point out to the urgent role of the HRDC and all of us here today in transforming this reality. Premier, when you were on leave in May, particularly or specifically on the 27th of May, Councillor Molefe was there, and the acting Premier. We launched a youth peace conversation. The Lady of Peace, in partnership with the Department of Women, Youth, Persons with Disability, and the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands, hosted the Northwest Provincial Youth Peace Conversation. We are in preparation for the local government elections, Premier, and it's important to build capacity around community mediation. I was very excited when I recognized that the LG CETA is here. It is time that the HRDC and its agenda encompasses the role of community mediation as a catalytic, program to galvanize, participation of the youth in elections. We brought together close to 100 young leaders from across the province, all the 4 districts of the province, from rural villages, informal settlements, in townships, and from the farms. These young people were not just consulted as victims. They were convened, some as peace builders, innovators, and civic leaders. You would recall that last year, Premier, here in Rustenburg again, one of the civil society organization member was speaking at the 16 Days of Activism from Taung. She spoke because she was awarded an award by the United Nations Women for the work that she's doing in Komahohoeng village. And she spoke of the support that she received and continues to receive with development partners. These leaders proposed that the youth-led mediation structures are supposed to be pivotal to prevent local violence. Digital peace campaigns to combat misinformation and promote inclusion. Community-based learning platforms to teach conflict resolution, life skills, and technology. peer-to-peer mentorship networks to build accountability and intergenerational leadership. So our civil society intersections with the HRDC priorities identified the 5 national priorities at provincial level. I urge us as a collective to align these with the capacities of grassroots organizations and community. First, foundation education and life skills. Civil society can co-manage community learning hubs, offering ECD, literacy, career guidance, and mental health support. Post-school education and work readiness. We can strengthen the TVET enrollment pipelines, promote artisan training, and help young people access bursaries and apprenticeship. Innovation and research. We must invest in community-led data collection, elevating indigenous knowledge and hyperlocal insights into formal planning systems. I know that as the government planning cycle, looking at our MTSF, the question that we must ask ourselves is what input and insights are we harvesting from formal planning, including informal planning, to make sure that our systems are agile to the necessary responses that we need to achieve. The fourth intersection with the HRD priorities, skills for transformation. With over 3 million unemployed youth nationally, civil society can support bridging programs, entrepreneurship incubators, and peace-building curricula. The fifth, a capable state. Civil society enhances the state's reach to embedding social accountability, participatory governance, and civic education in local HRD ecosystems. When we move forward, Premier and Chairperson of the HRDC, we must partner for impact. This relaunch of the HRDC Northwest is a chance to do development differently by including the voices, ideas, and innovation of local communities from the start. Let us commit to establishing community-based HRD task teams, including youth, civil society organizations, traditional leaders, and educators, funding local pilot projects that reflect the 5 HRDC priority areas, hosting annual HRD provincial dialogues to monitor progress and share lessons. As I conclude, let us join hands and let us not just be a talk shop. Let us not just this be another tick box activity. Let us not just be the relaunch of a council, but the reigniting of a movement that says every child in Mahikeng, Rustenburg, Taung, Schweizer-Reneke, has the right to quality education and other parts of our province. Every unemployed youth in Tlhabane, in Klerksdorp, deserves a second chance. And every civil society partner in the Northwest has a role to play in co-creating an economy that is inclusive, peaceful, and purpose-driven. Together, we can make human resource development not just a policy goal, but a lived reality. One learner, one village, one peace builder at a time. Ke a leboga. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marona Premier. I think a clarion call has been made, both from the Labour Federation and the civil society, that we need more action. We need to make make efforts and ensure that we change the narrative. Thanks, Marona, your dedication and efforts are truly appreciated. Mangwana o tshwara thipa ka fa bogaleng, re a leboga. As we move on with our program, before it's our traditional dancers, santse ba prepare ba nna ready. Let's call on stage the chairperson of the South African Local Government Association, who is also the executive mayor of Ngaka Modiri Molema, Councillor Khumalo Molefe or Molefe Khumalo. He would clarify gore ke e feng e leng senemi, ke e feng e leng lebitso. Re Khumalo, the chairperson of Salga, with a very round of applause for you. Our traditional dancers immediately are Khumalo fetsa. Before Dr. Tembia send at the stage, we would like to have a performance from your side. Over to you, chairperson of Salga.
No, thank you very much, Program Director. I must clarify, my name is Khumalo. However, my surname is Molefe. I am now standing on the ground of my forebears, for this is my home. This is where I was born some many years ago. I was actually born behind these mountains you call Pilanesberg Game Reserve in a village called Madutle. So this is my home. Originally, ke Mokgatla, ke Modibana Motente, moleka ka ntšhana ga o sena ntšhana o tla leka ka eng. Tla re tsena ko e re dumedise fela ke morolong. Ka lebaka la gore ke ile ka hudugela ko barolong dingwaga tse dintsi tse di fetileng. Le motlhang ke robetseng ke tsere maikano tonakgolo gore mohumagadi a ska sokodisiwa ka gore ke busediwe gae ke tla robala ko borolong. Ne ke re ke baakanye ke santse ke le mo botshelong. No, thank you very much. It is good to be here. And at the outset, let's take this opportunity to greet, on behalf of the South African Local Government Association, SALGA, which is an organization that is made up of all municipalities in our country. I'm also the executive mayor of the district of Ngaka Modiri Molema, which its office is in Mahikeng. We send our warmest greetings to you, our very important persons, our VIPs who are the learners and the innovators. What we saw here today, this morning, is inspiring. We pass by the road many times. We hardly ever care to enter here to see what happens in here, but I must say, what we saw this morning is inspiring, it's reviving. The Premier of the Northwest, Tonakgolo Kagiso, Lazarus Mokgosi, members of the Executive Council, MECs present, the Chair of Chairs, Metebogo Modise, who chairs all the chairpersons in the legislature, the Deputy Chairperson of the Human Resource Development Council, the Executive Mayor of Moses Kotane, my colleague, Menketu Nkotswe, the standing-in mayor of the district of Bujanala, the representative of Labour, Comrade Kabelo Khoro, civil society led by Mediale, the Director General and all other HODs, our valued guests, I must indicate that this place is well run. They say cleanliness is next to godliness. And if there was any doubt to that fact, it was put to rest today. When you enter this place, you see life. When you walk around this institution, you see its leadership. No wonder we were exposed to the reality that it is run by a woman. For we are told, Premier, that if you want it well set, give it to a man. But if you want it well done, give it to a woman. Close quote. These are not my words, so I must clarify that, Borra, so that there's no conflict. No, Premier, thank you very much. On behalf of the South African Local Government Association, we pledge our commitment. If we invest in TVETs more than any other, we will see economic freedom in our lifetime. If we don't change course, our mindset and attitude, and put our money where our words are, we will, and our people have said they are tired with speeches after speeches. We believe that this is the right direction. We will kill poverty. We will kill the dependency that is about to overthrow us by skilling our people and empowering them in this fashion. If we do this, we are defending our freedom. But if we fail to invest in the skilling of our people like Zimbabwe did, I always make an example with Zimbabweans. They can survive anywhere. They are actually in charge of the economy of the country without any formal application. In fact, I always argue that most of our biggest houses that you stay in are built by Zimbabweans. Plastered, paved, electrified, plumbed by Zimbabweans, simply because the old man, the late President Mugabe, may have made many mistakes, but never failed to invest in the empowerment and skilling of his people, the Zimbabweans. In conclusion, what is painful to us, and this is the experience I had, Premier, is that recently in Ngakamudere Mulema, in my municipality, we are a water service authority. Our mandate is to deliver water and sanitation, full stop. And so we embarked on a recruitment program. And we're looking for kids who are specializing in water, in sanitation, and all that. No, Premier, we were looking for about 30. And so I decided as a mayor that I want to welcome them. So I put them in the council chamber in order to welcome them. Something said, let each and every one of them introduce himself or herself and tell you where they come from. I want to confess to you, we're looking for process controllers, plumbers, you name them, water specialists, environmental specialists. 78% of them were from Limpopo. That's a reality. And I tried to figure out, but we went on an open, competitive, and transparent recruitment process. And I was told that many of these skills that we're looking for in environment, in water, are not done here in the province. They are done by some universities elsewhere. I don't know how far true that thing is. But what I saw here today is inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to do what I was called to do. And I hope that your script has not changed, program director. I was directed, I must consult before I perform this exercise. Ke na le go itseela mogodu. No, thank you very much. The script that I was given is different from the script that was given to the program director, and I'm happy that I inquired before I executed. Thank you very much, program director. Thank you.
Thank you, Remolefe. Yeah, I said it, I agree, gore program it said it's a mighty change. But thanks very much for recognizing the capacity our women, but also reminding all of us that we are celebrating the Women's Month. Ne ke re fela bomme ba eme, bontate re shebe bomme. A bomme ba eme fela bomme botlhe ba ba leng teng mo. Bomme botlhe ba eme re ba shebe batho ba bantle. Re shebe batho ba bantle ba re ba leboge mo kgweding ye ya bomme gore bomme ra le leboga. We want to thank you very much for the work that you continue to do in society, for your bravery, for your stewardship, and everything, for your leadership. You have the capacity. No doubt. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Libongwe ikam lam huwakadiha Libongwe pizzo la bafu kadiha Libongwe Libongwe Viva bomme viva. As we hand over to you, cultural group. The traditional group.
Hele khake chutana, he chutana. Hele khake chutana. Hele khaka kholo kena deva. Hele deva leta. Hele khakane. Hele khakane. Hele khake chutana. Hele khakane.
Apo bohle bo bokalo. Botswerere, bontle, ra le leboga bo kgaitsadi bonake. O ka re batjha ba rona ba bantsi nkabe ba itseela leitlho mo go lona, ba tsaya nako e ntsi ya bone ba dira tse le di dirang, nkabe re sena mathata re nang le one mo nageng e ya rona e ya diritibatsi. Ra itumela ka performance e from our cultural group, our traditional dancers, as we continue to acknowledge the presence of the dignitaries in our midst. We want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Nick Balkshen, the regional manager ya Northwest and Pumalanga TVET. If he can just stand up so that we can acknowledge him. Okay. Thank you very much. We proceed with our program as we call on stage the deputy chairperson of the HRDC. Like I said, that she deputized the deputy president. The deputy president happened to be the chairperson of the structure. We call on stage Dr. Thembi Xaba to come and give the message of support. Dr. Xaba, over to you.
Thank you, Program Director. Honorable Premier, MECs, mayors, MMCs, CEOs of SETAs, fellow HRDC Council members, Northwest Council members. I would like to extend a special greeting, Premier. I do have my fellow national HRDC Council members here today, Dr. Maja here and Dr. Yende. They are here with us today. Indeed, it is an honor and a privilege to be part of this event today. The HRDC was established in March 2010 to facilitate conditions that promote the optimal participation of all stakeholders in the planning, monitoring, and evaluation of the human resource development activities in the country. The HRDC is working diligently to strengthen the collaboration between national and provincial governments, hence we are here today. This is to ensure that there is alignment with policies, programs, strategies within the HRD. What should be noted, Premier, is that in 2018, a decision was taken here in the Northwest. That was, the Northwest hosted the HRD in 2018, and the decision was taken that the premiers will have to participate in the plenary of the HRD Council. And it is for this reason that today we are here to support the Northwest Province. At the first Human Resource Development Council meeting, which was held on the 5th of November, once again, the Honorable Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, who's the chairperson of the HRD, emphasized the importance of ensuring that all provinces will have to establish the provincial councils. And at that meeting, the Honorable Premier of the Northwest made a commitment that the Northwest will launch. And as we can see today, it was not only a commitment, but as we are here today, there is a relaunch. He's following up on that commitment. We do acknowledge that provincial councils have a unique role to play, not only in aligning with national priorities, but also to be mindful of the conditions that exist within the provinces. So in developing a human resource strategy, as we provide this support to the provinces, we can share today that from the HRD EXCO, there are EXCO members, Premier, that are allocated for Northwest Province. And I keep on putting a spotlight on Dr. Maja. Dr. Maja is here as the HRD Council member to provide support to the Northwest. But what I have seen today, Premier and MECs, and special message to this to the principal. He is so well placed, so committed, so dedicated. What we've seen here today, it does speak. In fact, I don't know, Premier, if it was strategic that the launch is here at the TVET College, because in terms of the HRDC's overall strategy, post-school education and training, we keep on emphasizing the role of TVET colleges. And in the role of TVET colleges, we continue to emphasize the need to destigmatize the fact that you only send learners to TVET colleges when they have failed. What we've seen here today is, it's just chalk and cheese. I think the tour was so important, I think, for some of us as HRDC, colleagues, from AI to robotics. In fact, I'm of the view that this TVET college is way ahead as compared to other TVET colleges in cities, And I would really emphasize and continue to encourage the school principal, on the focus. Clearly, they understand the strategy, and we are here today and quite encouraged. From a level of support as well, I would say, as I was talking to Secretariat Head, that maybe we may need to put a special focus on Orbit TVET College as one of our benchmarking TVET colleges across the country. To see AI being demonstrated in class or in campus at a level of a TVET college, I mean, I don't know how many years I've learned to understand the AI and the fact that as a country we're behind. But to see the TVET college focusing on it and really driving it and leading on it, it's been quite encouraging. So in closing, Premier and the executive, we're saying it's a relaunch. Since 2018, the Northwest has not been active. I think under your leadership, there is a vision, and in that vision, there is commitment. And in that commitment, we see you are launching, you've committed on the 5th of November, today you're launching, and your MECs are here today. DG, as they say, they path the way, then you pull so that you can deliver. So in closing, as the former speaker has said, it cannot be just the talk, it should be a moment of renewed resolve and a collective purpose. And with that, I thank you for hosting us, and we continue to make the commitment to work together with the province to achieve the goals, especially linked to our HRD and our reconceptualized strategy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, and we truly appreciate your presence here together with the team. Thanks for your remarks as we near towards the conclusion of our program. Colleagues, we are left with 2 items on our agenda, and at this stage, I would like to call upon the leader of governance business, who is also the MEC for education, Barekele Yanga Yanga, MEC Wama 2000, to come and do the honor by introducing the Premier and request the Premier to ascend the stage. Over to you, MEC.
No kontle ga go senya sebaka ne ke khalemelwa thata go se bare ke bua thata go te se ka bua thata. There's a keynote speaker batsadi go te tiro ka fela ke go tla go introduce tona kgolo wa rona mme sa ka fela ke go tlhalosa gore gantsi kana go tse dintsi go na le this misconception ya go rona di politicians, we are just politicians ba ileng gore ga rena background e pe le gore na le botsitso e ka re ha ise re rane administration Me o ke tlong go mo introduce ang gompieno ke ene o tlo go le provelang ba le bantsi gore not all politicians ke di politicians fela but ga bana that particular background e leng gore tsepame e bua ka administration. Botsadi ko ntle ga go senya nako o ke tlong go le mo itsise gompieno ke tlhalose gore is a former student activist at Taung College of Education. He is a former regional chairperson of SADU in Dr. RSM. He is also a former regional chairperson of the African National Congress in Dr. RSM. I'm doing this deliberately so that you understand where he comes from. I must also indicate, Jorge, regardless of his political career, is one of the comrades or one of the leaders by Jorge at one particular point. He was a teacher. He was a principal. I must also indicate, Jorge, on a postgraduate certificate qualifications in education. Ha tsengwa hela gore ne morutabana gore a tsene kwa ona o rupisitswe. And ke tlhalose gore based on that, also he is also a former director of public works in Dr. Ruth Sokhomotsi Mompati. O ke buang ka ene bagolo wa itsege is a South African politician le ka nna la mo gogola le nyene la go mo kra mo gogola a se ope o ka tsena mo gogolo ra itse batsadi ba rona. And I must also indicate gore ke premier wa rona wa bo 8 go ka electiwa as a premier of the Northwest Province. I must also indicate gore ka 2022 officially he was appointed as a member of provincial legislature in the Northwest Province. Furthermore, he was also appointed, he is a former chief whip of the Northwest Provincial Legislature. Me hatsa sebaka ili the chief whip of the Northwest Provincial Legislature. Furthermore, based on Butsiso, le go iprova ga gage, the leading party saw it fit that he must be appointed as the MEC responsible for social development. Ha etsa go appointiwa as the MEC of social development, Riponezi in the 7th administration, ke ene the premier of the Northwest Province, ki bua ka ra rona re Kagiso Lazarus Mokgosi. A poet ka Setswana ha ta khona atla mo staging tshotse gona lo batlang go mo tsatsanka. So ne re kopa a poet o ka tlang go mo tsatsanka sentla mmankanyetsa serala sa rona.
Asoze la phela mandla ligama la makhosi kasi asoze la phela mandla ligama la makhosi kasi asoze la phela mandla madume ke a dumedisa ka nna madume ke se Africa keng ka mogeleng ka mogolo kwane le melodi ne ke re madume ke a dumedisa ntetla tlha ke tlotlomatse ngwana wa mosetsana ke bua ka mosadi mo kgweding ya basadi ga tsalelwa go didimala lentswe la gagwe le betlilwe ka modumo wa maru ditoro tsa gagwe di feta dithaba ka bolele isago ya gagwe e kwadilwe ka puo e matla ke bua ka mosetsana yo tsaletsweng bokgoni ga emele lefatshe go mo bulela mejako o ithuta o leka go aga mejako ya gagwe kana ba tlhogo putswa ba kile ba bua ba re moremogolo go betla wa taola wa motho wa ipetla Ke bua ka basadi ba ba matlametlo jaaka bomme Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Ke bua ka basadi ba ba matlametlo jaaka bomme Albertina Sisulu. Ke basadi ba ba itshwarang ka fo bogaleng. O emeng fa ga bitsiwa a re ke selepe magagana maremapoko se reng serema wa utlwa ka tswina. Botsa Kgosi Pilane le baruti ba ba kgatla ba go tswa kgakala le premier ya rona ba tla go bolelela gore ke nna Kgarebentle Tshetlana ya Motswana. Nna bodidi ga ke bolore ke a ntse letsele tota la mosadi wa letlapa sebopa sa dinkgwana. Ke moseka phofu ga ke swelentswe pula.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Ntate Kawake Molapisi. Wetsi Ntate Kawake Salabila Nkopotsa. Ke bona ka diteki tsa di rwele. Ang Nkopotsa Trevor Noah. Ya no ke a bona gore Molapisi o gana ka ene. Dingwaga di ile mara ke a bona ka diteki gore sentse lele yang o rata dilo. No, thank you very much. No ra leboga Program Director. Deputy Chair Dr. Tembi Ngaba. Oh, Ka. Ke motho a ko Taung. Ke tla sokola. Members of the Executive Council present here today, I'm happy about your attendance and the manner in which you respected this occasion, because today's event is a very serious event. The executive mayors and councillors present here, in particular, the local mayor wa Moses Kotana, Menkotso Ralebogamma, ka dinako tsotlhe you are available, ha re kopa support ya gago. The chair of chairs of the Northwest Legislature, Ostebogo Modise, as always available, Raleboga. Re ne re tansa maloba ko Sun City mmogo. Re theogetse ka dilo tsa G20, gape gompieno teng, Raleboga. The TVET College leadership and staff, this is the home of our team which is in the PSL, Moswenko boys. Raleboga. This is the home of the boys. All COOs of SITAs present here today. Senior government officials also present here today. Ntate Kabelo Khoro from Labour. Ausdieketse Diale, thank you very much, from civil society. Ntate Madala Masuku, the advisor to the Deputy President. The Chair of Salga, Ntate Kumalo Molefe. Dr. Masongane, CEO of the Mining Qualifications. Professor Mandla Makaya, the caretaker of the Public Service Commission in the Northwest. Raitumela Prof for your presence. And our special guest from Mpumalanga, Ntate J.M. Koza. I think you'll also pass my greetings to the Premier of Mpumalanga, a special friend. Thank you very much for you coming here. Bagaitsu dumela. Bagaitsu dumela. Dwata kere halala bomme halala. Halala bomme halala. Hanka bekene ke khona. Totanka bekere re tswale kopano. Re goja re leboge. Gonne dibui tse di fitileng. Bogolo jang dibui tsotlhe re simolotse fela ka from labor le from civil society re re ditsela tsotlhe di lebile kgosing maoko otlhe ke a lekgotla a siame a mantle now re tshwanetse re leboge ka mantswe a mang tsotlhe tse le di buileng re dumalana le tsona. If you recall, rather, this is a resuscitation of the structure. Se sale se tsamaya ka 2018. Jaanong o ka sheba gore 2018 ke leng. Mathata a rona e be na section 100. Because at that point, then the structure collapsed. Because the focus was on something else. Now we are resuscitating the structure. We are here and we are showing our commitment. It gives me the pleasure to preside over this historic moment, which marks the official launch or the resuscitation, as we may call it, of the Northwest Human Resource Development Council. They call it the HRDC. This important occasion reaffirms our ongoing commitment to harness the provincial skills base as a vehicle for socio-economic development to address the scourge of unemployment and poverty in our province. Critically, to commit to skills development as part of our continued endeavors to empower young people to grow the economy and create jobs. The establishment of the Human Resource Development Council is part of a national strategy to align the country's education and training systems with labor market demands. Today, through the launch of our provincial HRDC, we are localizing the vision to ensure that the people of the Northwest are not left behind in the national agenda for skills, jobs, and economic inclusion. This council will be a multi-sectoral advisory and coordination platform that brings together government, departments, and municipalities, higher education and training institutions, sector education and training authorities, our SETAs, organized labor and business, civil society, and community stakeholders. As we launch this council at this campus, which can be defined as a beacon of skills excellence in the province, we need to be mindful of the potential resilience and innovation possessed by the youth. So, Deputy Chair, it was not a coincidence. It was a deliberate action for us to come here and see for ourselves that we can compete with the best countrywide. But by the way, we are also competing in Africa and nationally and internationally. So we are a beacon of success. Now, it is here where we are planting a seed of a skilled generation prepared for the modern economy. This launch also coincides with a very important month where we'll be celebrating women as torchbearers of our freedom, as well as active agents for transformation. This month also allows us to take stock of achievements we have made in the last 31 years in empowering our women. These include challenges that continue to affect women, but critically to devise strategies and to mobilize resources for their development. It is largely women who carry the burden of a number of challenges that impacts on our developmental trajectory. Bessie Head, a very steward and pioneer of African literature, once said, and I quote, "I'm building a stairway to the stars. I have the authority to take the whole of mankind up there with me. That is why I can write." And I close. Therefore, the pronouncement we make today must not just be pieces of words, as said by the people who came before me. It does not be words, but it must be a deliberate agenda to advance the empowerment of women in the cause of economic freedom. So we'll be biased towards our strategy when we deal with these matters. As we build towards this future, the women of our province must be up there with us to the stars. Program Director, the HRDC must not be just another council, but it must just be a strategic and a catalytic platform that will bring all the aforementioned stakeholders to plan jointly, coordinate jointly, and accelerate human capital development in the province. While we are endowed with natural resources and huge economic potential, our province faces deep economic challenges, such as high youth unemployment, low skills levels, poverty, and inequality. And without emphasis on skilled and capable workforce, this potential will never be realized. Therefore, this council is duty-bound and strategically positioned to drive the alignment between the education and training needs of our province and the skills demands of our economy. We have recently, as a province, adopted the Provincial Growth and Development Strategy, which has identified key economic drivers of this province, such as mining, agriculture, agro-processing, tourism, renewable energy, and green economy, including infrastructure development as our key economic drivers in the province. However, none of these sectors can grow without the right skills base. So the HRDC will therefore serve as the engine that must drive skills planning and coordination, including implementation to support the sectors. In giving impetus to the above deliberations, the council will focus on the following: strengthening the artisan development and technical skills training. We should focus there, because I've always been convinced that a person who comes from a state college, he's solid from a practical point of view, compared to somebody who is theoretically sound. We are challenged. Okay. We need a specialist on these things also. Okay. So I'm saying we need people coming from TVET College who are solid. And earlier on, the chairperson of Salga spoke about them. That's why our focus should be on technical skills in this focus area in our council. Second, expanding workplace-based learning, internships, and learnership. That's another focus area. We should also look at empowering youth, women, and people living with disabilities through targeted programs. We need to improve coordination need to improve coordination between government, SETAs, and the private sector. We need also to monitor and evaluate the impact of HRDC initiatives in the province. So we need on a regular basis to audit and evaluate, to monitor whether are we making a difference as HRDC. In conclusion, because I can see there's a deliberate sabotage. So to avoid continued disruption, I will urge all council members to lead this structure with integrity, transparency, and agency, and ensure that skills development budgets are better spent and better targeted. And that SETAs and training institutions are integrated into local and district planning by ensuring that young people have a clear pathway from education to employment, and industry partners come to the party with commitment to invest in training and upskilling. Now, I'm going to call members to the council. We have received apologies of some of the people that have been appointed, but we'll announce those who are here today and even indicate those who may not be here, but they are members. We will call MEC Mutsumi. By the way, MEC Mutsumi, you can come on stage. MEC wa Mayanga. MEC Mutsumi will also serve as my deputy, as it was announced that I'm the chair. So MEC Mutsumi, the MEC responsible for education, will also be the deputy chair of the council. We are going to have the SG of education, Ntate Lengane Bohatswi, to serve as the secretariat, obviously working with the Director General of the province, Ntate Mokgosi, will allow them to come on stage. Tate Bohatswi is new in the Department of Education. Kishona le malatsi a mabedi as the SG of Education in the Northwest Province. Baba sa mo itseng ke ene Ntate Lengane Bohatswi. We will also have MEC Molapisi, responsible for COCTA. Okay. MEC Lehare, responsible for health. MEC Mukua, responsible for public works and roads. MEC Danchi for social development. MEC Lenkopani for department called DDECT, Economic Development, Conservation and Tourism. The executive mayor of Ngaka Mudiri Molema, Ntate Kumalo Molefe, Ntate Kabelo Khoro, Me Dieketsen Diale, Dr. Pradip Bakshil. I think I'm pronouncing it properly. Dr. Pradip Bakshil. I hope I'm well. Dr. F. Yende, Dr. Tembikaba is announced. Dr. Bushielo Isaac Maja. Good. Now, we have also people who have put apologies for today. They forgot that also Saturday is just another day like all the days. We've got Professor John Lamola. We also have Professor Raymond Parsons. We also have district mayors for Bojanala, Susan Ntangeni, Nikki Wenum, Motsokai Maje. Those are district mayors. We also have Med District Triale. We also have Mr. Benedict Modise. And lastly, we've got Professor Chobeka from the university. So we accepted the apology and understand that generally they are competing activities. So that is the committee that we have today, which I'll be chairing for the province. We must have a picture. I'm not sure whether the photographer has been prepared for this. As we officially today resuscitate the HRDC of the province. I think earlier on when DDG Chuma explained that there is a technical team which serves as a feeder to this one, which is called it Provincial Development, what do you call it, Skills Forum. That's right. Which serves as a feeder to the structure.
Thank you very much, Comrade Premier. This is the provincial structure is now officially relaunched. Thanks very much as we go down to occupy our seats. We are now at a stage where we need to call upon the Mayor of Moses Kotane. Before we do that, somebody has lost his or her keys. Should, or do we know? Oh, Negere, somebody has lost his or her keys. Please come forward. Dina le tochinya nenya no ketsa room so you may have closed yourself outside. Majoro Nkotwe, as you come and do the vote of thanks very much. Just be careful as you descend the stage. No, I won't.
Thank you, Program Director, Ntate Molapisi. Let me take tlotlo ke fe mme wa rona, Dr. Kaba, the Deputy Chair, ka fo tlase ga the Deputy President, Re Mashatile. Ke tse tlotlo e ke e ne mopremiri wa rona, Ntate Mokgosi, le ba ba mo potapotileng, ba tlile le bone mo mosong wa gompieno. Ke tse tlotlo e gape ke lebise go bakhuduthamaga ba ba leng fano e leng bone ba ba mo potapotileng. Ka gore nnete fela ditumediso di setse di fitile, so nka se boele kwa ka lebitsa ba botlhe ka bongwe ka bongwe. Nna ke bidiwang ke Tunkotswe, ke majoro wa Moses Kotane, ke mosetsana wa kwa Lesejane kwa Matlhako, boloi ba teng bo a boitshega. Nnete fela ke gore ke modimo wa kwa Matlhako, mare ka M o monyenyane ke a leboga. Botlhoko. Ke mentionile batlotlegi ba rona, re leboge re tse tlotlo re efe the TVET College e leng e bidiwang Mankwe, which is in Moses Kotane, e re e ramogetse mo mosong wa gompieno, for hosting this event and providing platform for all of us to come together. To all the speakers and panelists, your expertise and experiences have shed light on crucial issues and potential solutions in human resource development. We are grateful for your contributions. The organizing committee, your tireless efforts have ensured the smooth execution of this event that you have dedicated and the hard work you have done. To all the participants, your active participation and engagement have made this event a success. We appreciate your commitment to advancing human resource development in our region. As we move towards the closure or the end of this, let us continue to work together to address the challenges and opportunities in human resource development. The launch of this HRDC marks a significant milestone in our collective efforts to build a skilled and competent workforce. Thank you once again, everyone. Ke kopa gore before ke feleletsa, le nthusa go feleletsa seane se, I'll explain why ke batla gore se tsene. Moja morago ke? My reason being that Mankwe, Moses Kotane, e ka fo tlase ga Mokgosi. Whether ba teng or ga ba teng, we must always acknowledge them. Ke bone ba re laolang, lefatshe ke la bone. Le ge re ka rutega go le kana kang, nnete fela ga ile gore re utlwile mopremiri sentle, o rile re bereka as a collective, ga re tlogele magosi a rona ko ntle, ga re tlogele salga ko ntle, ga re tlogele department epe ko ntle, ga re tlogafa as local councillors, because ke a bona ma-councillor a teng, ga ba tlogafa ba ya go introduce kganye le go e bega kae ko metseng. Ga gona o yang ko Rustenburg a le ka fo Moses Kotane, ro e bega kae ko motseng. This college is in Moses Kotane and not in Rustenburg. Tota le Sun City ba gaetso e mo Moses Kotane. Maphodisa fo Sun City a le ga a tshwara ope ko toropong, a tshwara gona. Ke ka mo ke tsentseng magosi ke reng, thank you once again everyone who was involved or who is involved in making this a very successful meeting. With that, I declare this officially closed. Maybe before go tswalwa, ke kope mongwe o nang le dikitsiso a tle go itsise batla pitsong gore go batlega eng go tlhokega eng. Ke a leboga, tlholang sentle ba gaetsho.